Monitoring program starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. You know we always get excited for anything on the Discovery Channel, and I've been privileged over these many decades to interview lots of protagonists and hosts and stars of those shows, but we always turn it up to 11 when it is Shark Week. And it's great to welcome back to the show Paul Gelder, and he's all over Shark Week as usual. Invasion of the Mega Sharks, he's in that. Bull Shark, Dinner Bell, Ultimate Shark Dive. Paul, welcome to the show. I kind of feel like Shark Week is sort of like your, Black Friday for, you're completely involved in everything. How does that work for you during the year?
I love it. It's the best job in the world. I get to travel the planet. I get to have adventures. I get to go diving with sharks and try not to die. What better life?
By the way, your Socceroos were based out here in my hometown of Oakland. It was really cool having them here during the World Cup.
Oh, amazing. They started off strong.
They did. And you know the days of Harry Kuehl and Tim Cahill and Mark Viduka. I mean, I remember I was in Germany in 2006. That Aussie team was pretty good then.
Absolutely. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't drink all of your beer like the Scottish did in Boston, though. They let us down.
What an embarrassment. Yeah. Maybe if it was Foster's, maybe, right?
Oh, God, no one drinks that anymore.
Showing my age. All right, so just to remind everyone your background, because you were Special Forces in the Australian military, and then you had your own encounter with a shark that, in a way, brought you closer to the shark, which I always find admirable.
Yeah, I was in Special Forces, actually. I was Army Airborne, so I was a paratrooper for 5 years. And then I switched over to Navy Clearance Diver, which is we do basically all manner of EOD, land-based and underwater-based EOD. Then we do tactical ops and hard hat diving on the tools as well, but not SF.
Well, that's all Special Forces to someone like me. That's pretty cool. And
that is a very cool job.
Yeah, and you left a part of yourself in the water that day, didn't you?
Well, it wasn't voluntarily, I'll tell you that. The bull shark came along and decided it was going to eat me. So that was a pretty tough day. My two greatest fears in life, though, were sharks and public speaking. And now I'm a shark diving public speaker. And so I just like to remind everyone that no matter what it is that you're afraid of or what it is you're going through, as long as you face it head on, just like we've been trained in the military, you can overcome anything that's put in front of you, and you can even make it one of your greatest strengths, because I'm not that smart, I'm nothing special, and I managed to pull it off, so anyone can do it.
Well, yeah, you mentioned as a public speaker now, motivational, and I can think of very few people who have been more effective as a motivational speaker, but just on a personal level, how long did you say, why me, and feel sorry for yourself? Because I think for most people, that may be a lifetime of that.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't see the point in doing that. Mm-hmm. That's a slippery slope into depression and anxiety and PTSD. And I just decided very early on that I wasn't going to have a part of that. I think that we are the masters of our ship. And we control our emotions, not the other way around. We control our brains, not the other way around. So I just decided that I wasn't going to bother with all the complaining and whining and why is me, and I was just going to focus my energy and motivation, which, it's not to say I didn't have bad days. I just didn't let it take hold. But I was terrified of losing my career. And so I used that fear to motivate me into my rehab and my physical training to get back to work with the Navy.
It's amazing stuff. All right, Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. I want to ask you, first of all, about Ultimate Shark Dive, because there's great art of you and the lovely and talented Molly Carlson. It seems like you're sitting on a rock in the ocean and you got a big bucket of chum with dorsal fins about. What is that?
Oh, mate, I haven't seen that one. But it was a great show. Molly's such a legend. She's a little firecracker. I've never met a Red Bull high diver before, and I certainly haven't seen one jump out of a helicopter and do a little flippity spinny into a shark cage surrounded by sharks. And so that wasn't my part of ship. My part of the ship was try and get her comfortable with sharks, which wasn't easy because she was terrified of sharks. So I had to get her not just comfortable, but confident that if she landed outside of the cage, she knew how to handle herself so she didn't become a feeding opportunity.
It's amazing stuff. All right, so now Invasion of the Mega Sharks, plural. What's going on in this one, Paul?
Nova Scotia, of all places.
Wow.
Freezing cold water, super murky, giant sharks. And so, yeah, really cool experience to actually go up to Canada and go out off the coast there into that crazy wild land and just go hunting for great whites. And we saw all spectrum of sizes. This is going to blow people's minds. I'm really excited for everyone to watch that one.
All right, and also I got to make sure that we mention the Ultimate Shark Dive. I guess same kind of thing with Molly.
Bull Shark Dinner Bell. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, it also has you listed as Ultimate Shark Dive, a third show.
We can just talk about that?
Oh, all right. Well, I brought up Bull Shark Dinner Bell. I guess we flipped it. And you know what? I can see why you and I both get confused because there's so many shark shows.
There's so many.
Let's talk about let's go to the Dinner Bell then. Yeah, that makes more sense because you were talking about diving. What's the Dinner Bell with the chum and all that?
So there's a lot of bull shark bites and attacks going on in the world. Sadly, in Australia this year, we had 4 bull shark attacks in 48 hours. And so every year we're trying to teach people about sharks, but also keep people safe. And so we decided we were going to recreate the perfect environment, get all of the ingredients to create the perfect recipe to ring the bull shark dinner bell, show people exactly what it takes and what happens when you do that so that people know what to do and what not to do entering the water so they don't become a little shark snack like me.
All right. Paul de Gelder, always great. You're an LA guy now, right?
I just left LA and moved to Montana.
Wow.
I'm in New York at the moment, but I figure why live in America and not go and see the wild? So I'm up in Montana for a bit at the moment.
Yeah. Are you like Bozeman? Are you like that area?
Yeah, it's great up there.
I love it. I was there a couple of years ago. All right, hey, Paul, always good talking to you, man. And we look forward to Shark Week, and we'll catch up down the road.
Cheers, Darren.
All right. Cheers. And you know what? And by the way, when you are an Army paratrooper and a Navy bomb diver, and he was like, "Oh no, I wasn't Special Forces." It's like, I wasn't that badass. I'm like, well, that's pretty badass. That's pretty badass to me. But no, it's always he had an arm eaten off and he had a leg eaten off. And he just, as he said, what's the point of feeling sorry for myself? That's easier said than done. All right, let's go to a break. When we come back, we will keep the Shark Week talk going with Kendyl Berna.
In the street, I can't repeat. Decadence and promiscuity. 4% of iniquity. Vulgarity is overused. Debauchery leaves me unamused. So if you really want to be in the groove, be like me and be a prude. It's so boring to be lewd. I'm a prude.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to Satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to Satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solutions Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
And by the way, can I just say, Rick, that Rick Tittle is one of the great names of all time.
People going nowhere, seeking for a ride, looking for the answer that they know inside.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
All right, thank you for that. And waiting for our next Shark Week guest. Over the years, Discovery Channel, it's very nice of them. They send like a promotional, like little press kit for Shark Week, and it's sometimes they give you like a little funny novelty gift thing. One of them was a like a giant shark head, but it was mounted as if like I shot it like an elk and mounted it. And I had that up in my office for a couple of years, and then I got tired of it. Like, ha, 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 look at that. And I'm like, all right, we get it. And I'm killing time, as you can tell. Such a pro. And then last year, they sent this sweatshirt that was made out of something sustainable. And it was kind of weird, and it had these like crazy stripes, and then it said on the back it said Discovery Shark Week, and I'm like, no offense, I could never wear this in public, but it's really soft. So that's a like an around the house shirt when it's cold, and they're accomplishing what they want, and that is that they getting the shark message out. Of course, giving me the shark message, Shark Week stuff is kind of like sending Christian missionaries to Utah, right? I think they got it. Shout out to my peeps in Salt Lake, as I always say. Shout out Dino, Salt Lake Sports Radio as well. I think also living on in the psyche of Americana and Step Brothers, when they're watching TV and he turns off the TV, he goes, Dad, what the F? It's Shark Week. Right? Why are you sweating? I was watching Cops. You know, when I first saw Step Brothers, I was like, all they do is just swear. It's nothing clever. And then a couple of years later, when everybody was raving about it, I gave it another go, and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. And now I've probably seen it 10 times, and I was like, this actually is really good. But yeah, first impression. You ever get that? Like when I first saw Jack Black, I hated his face. He was, I'm just being honest. He was an accessory character in some movie. He had a couple lines, but, you know, he acted like a confident, fat little jackass with that face and one eyebrow raised. And I'm like, I'm not a big fan. Then, of course, you know, Nacho Libre, School of Rock, All Gold. Nothing? Not yet? Okay. 1-800-878-PLAY. Whenever I like give up on a guest and I delve into a new topic, they're always like, oh, there they are. They're on the phone. All right. So I'm going to start talking about this. The name Justin Prinstein, and I have to say that's a guy I've never heard of until today. But we found out today that the Los Angeles Angels fired a scout who was caught filming members of the Rockies coaching staff ahead of a June series between the Rockies and the Angels. So Justin Prinstein refers to himself on social media as the baseball spy. That's what he calls himself. And prior to the series against the Rockies, he was spotted filming Colorado's coaches with his phone from a section reserved for scouts at Coors Field. And this was reported to MLB. And filming by scouts is allowed under some circumstances, but using technology outside what's called the sanctioned broadcast is not permissible. This is the thing that I always get when I went to Raider practice. They said you can film during stretching, you can take all the pictures you want, but once we're done with stretching, the phone's got to go away. We don't want to see you taking any pictures. So after the league notified the Angels, looks like the Rockies caught your guy, Perry Manassian, the GM, who has since been fired. He fired Princeton. And Sam Blum, the Angels beat writer, said, quote, Manassian also apologized to the Rockies front office, including the president of baseball ops, Paul D. Podesta, GM Josh Burns. Multiple sources briefed on the matter said that both organizations believe Princeton acted on his own initiative and that the Angels are not facing any punishment from the league. Well, look, since the sign stealing scandal, garbage can gate, whatever you want to call it, MLB, was it in 2020, right when the pandemic started, they started tightening all these sign stealing rule violations, uses of video, and they did it in collaboration with the union. And they say the use of electronic or visual enhancement devices to identify a team's sizes and such things. So before being hired as a scout by the Angels, Princeton worked for the Reds, and he also worked for a couple of teams in Korea. And he also did some podcasting about the sport, but like what college kid didn't do podcasting as well. All right, we will not have that guest. Maybe later in the show, or maybe another time. Oof. All right, I want to get back to, and well, this is more than just the, what do I got here? A few minutes left in this segment, but I just want to touch on this before I dive into it bigger later about who's buying and who's selling, as we are going to be having an August 3rd trade deadline. And that's it. It's coming up on us fast here. Just really, 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks. And the interesting thing about just having one trade deadline instead of the old waiver, non-waiver thing, and Billy Bean, I waived my whole team in August. Then you pull them back once, can't pull them back twice. Do you pay $50K? If you don't, you take on the contract. And teams would do that. Like if there was still that, the Giants would put Adames and Chapman, and they would hope somebody would claim them. All right, they're all your. Do I feel sorry for Adames not covering second yesterday? I guess I shouldn't. I mean, that's just. I feel like I played infield in high school. I feel like I would have. I mean, what are you doing? You got to cover the bag. That's why I hate that Derek Jeter play on the late great Jeremy Giambi. Because there's no reason for him to be standing there. That's not where you're supposed to be. But of course, for him, it's gold. So as we go through with these extra, 10 teams make the playoffs. It's almost like the NHL or the NBA. It's like everybody's making a third of the league. And if you are, let's say you're 6 games out of the last wild card spot, you go, hey, we have a hot week. We're 2 games out. We have another hot week. We are a wild card. And so that's why teams are so reticent to sell these days. Unless they, so there are teams that are obviously going to buy. The top teams, the Braves, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Yankees, the Phils. I even think Tampa Bay is going to buy as well. Then you have teams that might buy. Red Sox, the White Sox, the Diamondbacks, the Pirates, the Marlins, the Padres, the Guardians, the Mariners, the Rangers, the Blue Jays. Remember, the Red Sox were going to be selling for sure, and then they've won 14 games in a row. They want to capitalize on that. And yes, I do throw in the Rays as a likely buyer as now. But then there are teams that's like, who knows? Because the Tigers are shopping Scooble while they're also shopping for talent. You can do it simultaneously. And you would then acquire people who could help you right now. If you're going to trade Scooble for the future, then you get top prospects. And by the way, why would you trade a guy who's won back-to-back Cy Youngs? I have so many times said, oh, what a haul the A's got. Oh, Franklin Barreto, Brett Laurie. The list goes on and on of these guys who are part of this haul. Haul. It was more of a hole, HOLE, but I wonder about the Orioles. I wonder about the Astros. I wonder about the Twinkies as well. Those are some who knows teams. And then teams that will probably sell are like the A's and the Reds and the Angels and the Cards and the Nationals. You'd say, well, the Cards and the Nationals are relevant in the standings. Yeah, but they've kind of openly said we're looking at young talent for the future. That's why I say probably. Then you have teams that will just sell for sure. The Rockies, the Royals, the Mets, and the Giants. And the fact the other day that there was, Posey said, yeah, we're looking at adding to the bullpen. You don't add to anything this year. What I would do is I would try to get Luis Arias to sign an extension, have one team finally like him. He's on a one-year deal. All he does is win batting titles, multiple. He hits .330 every year. And then people are like, is he a Gold Glover? No. By the way, the worst offensive shortstop statistically in all of baseball is Willie Adames now. I was very surprised to see that. But anyway, I would try to sign him an extension, but Adames has a no trade. Chapman has a no trade. I mean, they'd have to agree. And I think those guys, if they sort of feel like it's gone sour and they can go to a winner, how much of the contract are you going to eat at that point? And you might be surprised I mentioned the Mets as an obvious seller. Oh, they will. They're going to sell. I just wonder how deep into the selling they're going to go. I don't think it's going to be like Juan Soto territory, but, they sold off some pieces last year, McNeil and others. I mean, it could happen, but we're keeping our eye on that. All right, when we come back, we will check in with Karen Lyle and SalesPortTalk.com. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America. Premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Sailing takes me away to where I've always heard it of me.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Right Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. You hear that music on a Tuesday at 9:40 Pacific time, and you know it's time to check in with our friends at salesportstalk.com. And to help me co-host this segment, as always, is our friend Karen Lyle. And Karen, we have a guest, but we're waiting on the guest. Is that correct?
I believe so, but I'm over here in London, and you're in San Francisco, and we're connecting those two parts of the world with the rest. Yes.
So, did you watch the consolation match on Saturday? The 10-goal thriller, England 6, France 4.
I can tell you that when Spain won, that England was happy.
So you didn't watch the England game Saturday?
No, of course. I was in the courtyard over at the In-N-Out Naval and Military Club.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, it was crowded. We had a crowd.
There was some argy-bargy from the Argies. Yeah, there was some bad blood brought up from the early 80s.
Yeah. Well, sports reflects a lot, right?
Absolutely. As I took a class from Dr. Harry Edwards, he said it recapitulates society, and I still don't know what that word means, but I think I know what he was getting at.
Well, it might have something to do with baseball. You never know.
So how often do you go to Pizza Express or Pret a Manger?
I have not done Pizza Express. I didn't even know there was one here. Is there?
That's the only place I've seen it, is in England.
Oh, no. I'm in a different world here, you know?
Do you get a little...
Westminster, right?
Do you get a prawn sarnie at a Pret a Manger?
Well, actually they're having a wonderful French cuisine as a club. I've been doing a lot of, explorations in space, and I'm really hoping that we do get to have our guest on the show tonight. I mean, today, I guess it is. What time is it there? It's evening here.
It's always, Karen, 9:42. You know what time. This is the only time we have you on.
But that's just from your perspective.
So for you, though, I guess since you're at these private clubs, you go to these food places I'm talking about because you are inundated with free food, aren't you?
No, I wish it were free. That would be really lovely. I guess it's free if I'm being treated. Yeah.
Yes. So tell us what you're doing at the In-N-Out Club, because I know that is something that is, ties into the whole seafaring thing.
Well, actually, I am right now at this very moment at the Westminster Park Plaza Hotel, which is just right near London Bridge, and you can walk across the bridge. It's right by St. Thomas Hospital. You know where that is, right? The London Bridge. You've been there.
The fake one, yeah.
right. And it's been a lot of work with space, but also oceans and Navy, as a matter of fact. Just been talking to, you remember we had the conversation with Adam Ballard when he, just recently when he was third place in the race around the island in Portsmouth area, and that's Isle of Wight. We're working on some projects together that have to do with, some of my technology and so forth. So it's just conversations here and there to see how we can collaborate, what we can do.
So as we're waiting for Dr. Edie Witter is the person that we're waiting for, and she's a American oceanographer, marine biologist, author. She has founded some research and conservation associations as well. How did you meet her, and what was the gist of today's interview?
Well, actually, Patty is the one who made this arrangement. But she has a film that's coming out about her life called A Life Illuminated, and it is really amazing because she has done, I don't know, something like 250 deep dives in the ocean, and she actually developed instrumentation to be able to see bioluminescent life.
Well, you know what? We have her. How about that?
Yes.
We have Dr. Edith Witter with us right now. And welcome to the show. Rick Tittle and Karen Lau with you on Sports Byline and American Forces Radio. And we were just hearing, Dr. Witter, that there's a movie about you. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Yeah, it's kind of an amazing thing to see your life portrayed up on screen like that. It's A Life Illuminated, done by Tasha Van Zandt and Sebastian Zek. They're just astonishing filmmakers and really great storytellers. And they put together a lot of footage from my career into this wonderful ode to the ocean.
You know, Edie, as I was looking at some of the images that you've captured, now I have, for the first time last year, I was able to see bioluminescent life just at a minor depth in Monterey Bay, but I was just so in awe of that experience. And I'm looking at your 250 plus dives that you've done in these little bubbles and wondering what is your attitude or feeling about when you first see something you've never seen before?
I've seen that so many times throughout my career, and I just feel so incredibly fortunate whenever it happens, and have always wished that I could share more of it with people, and now to be able to have so much of it available in this film is a real thrill.
Dr. Witter, what was it like when you were studying this stuff right about the time Jaws came out? I mean, because that really changed a lot with oceanography, didn't it?
Yeah, I think you feel pretty safe in a submersible from creatures like that. It's more the pressure you got to worry about.
And speaking of the pressure, how far have you been down?
3,000 feet.
So tell us more about the bioluminescence, because we hear about fish have to have whatever it is, bacteria, and make a little light bulb at the top of their head, things that a lot of humans haven't seen, and so many things we haven't even discovered yet, Doctor.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different forms of bioluminescence, especially in the ocean environment. There are a few land animals that make light, fireflies, and some different types of insects and worms, but it's pretty uncommon on land. In the ocean, we think possibly more than 75% of the animals in the ocean make light, and they use it to help them find food and attract mates and defend against predators. And so, it's really unusual for people to get to see it, unfortunately. Sailors, of course, do have that opportunity, but so often they're sailing when they're in near shore, there's a lot of light pollution that blocks it out. And so, unfortunately, rather than have that spectacular light show that they could be seeing, often the very first time they get to see bioluminescence is in the head, because the toilets on ships are flushed with unfiltered seawater that have bioluminescent dinoflagellates in them. And so if you stagger into the head late at night and you forget to turn on the light because you're so toilet-hugging sick, you can think you're having a religious experience.
Right. I remember the first time I saw it along the boat. I was in a 75-foot catamaran going down the Pacific coast, just about by the Channel Islands, and between that and the coast at night. And there was a megapod of dolphins, and two of them came through underneath the hull, and on either side there was all the bioluminescence that was just gathering on the insides of both sides of those hulls. And I knew what it was, but I didn't know how it was produced. What do you know about that one that we see on the surface of the ocean?
So that was dinoflagellates, and they're single-celled algae, basically. And the light is produced as a result of a mechanical stimulus. The membrane gets deflected, and it activates an electrical charge that stimulates this mixing of chemicals that produce light. And the chemicals are called luciferin for the substrate and luciferase for the enzyme, but those are actually just generic terms. There's actually many different versions of those chemicals, and now we believe that bioluminescence may have evolved as many as 100 separate times in evolutionary history. And when you have that kind of degree of what's called convergent evolution, where evolution solves a problem the same way over and over again, how do you survive in the dark? Make light. Then it's a clear indication of the survival value of that trait.
Before I let you go, I want to make sure we mention the Ocean Research and Conservation Association, which you founded, and tell us a little bit more about that and what you guys do.
Yeah, so I founded Orca in 2005 in response to some reports that were calling for more, the deterioration of the ocean, that we needed to be taking better care of the ocean. We live on an ocean planet, and our very survival depends on keeping the oceans healthy. And so at Orca, we're focused on trying to track pollution where it's coming into the ocean and get it stopped before it enters. It's a big part of what we do here. We have a very large citizen science group that is going out and creating pollution maps in the coastal zone environment, where it's like a weather map where red is hot and blue is cold, only red is toxic and blue is non-toxic. And we actually use bioluminescent bacteria to help us find those hot spots of toxicity so that we can address them.
Karen, we have time for one more question.
So what do organisms use light for talking or communicating with each other for? I know there's a lot of different ways, but what's one way that you would like to tell us about?
Oh, so many different ways. So some of them can actually spew those chemicals into the water, just the way an octopus will spew out an ink cloud, only they spew out light. So there's shrimp that can spew it out of their mouths, like fire-breathing dragons. Copepods spew it out of their tails. There's sharks that have bioluminescent lights on their bellies that helps eliminate their silhouette from being seen from below. There are bioluminescent deep sea corals on the bottom that if you bump into them, they flash, presumably as some kind of defense. There are animals, most of the animals produce blue light, but there's some that can produce red light. The stoplight fish produces red bioluminescence, and unlike most animals, it can see red light, so it uses it like a sniper scope to sneak up on animals that can see the red light, but they can.
We've been speaking with Dr. Edith Witter. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
And Karen, have fun in England. And there is preseason soccer is beginning this week. In fact, Tottenham are up at MK Dons if you want to go up the M1.
Well, and also CLGP is at Portsmouth. This is the weekend coming up for that as well. I will actually be on a plane back to San Francisco at that moment, but certainly looking forward to having all of our friends do so well in this race. It's such a competition.
Well, you'll just go back in a week, right?
I'll be home for a month.
All right, Karen Lyle is salesportstalk.com. Thanks for your time.
We'll talk to you next week.
I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on Sports Byline.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. and ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
People ask me, you must have been the class clown. And I say, no, I wasn't. But I sat beside the class clown and I studied him.
So when I fall out the door, I wanna be sedated. Nothing to do, no way to go home. I wanna be sedated. Just give me to the airport, put me on a plane. Hurry, 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 before I go insane. I can't get to my fingers, I can't get to my brain. Oh no, oh,
Rick Tittle once threw a tennis ball at a donkey.
I did. I feel sorry about that. All right. It was a manic first hour, but so entertaining. Coming up in the second hour, scheduled appeared Katie Taylor, who's written a football book, and Tyler Adams of your United States men's national team. I was talking to Dr. Edith Witter, who's in all those submersibles she was talking about, and just reminded me of that horrible Titan submersible implosion a couple of years ago. I don't know if you watched the documentary on it. And I wasn't gonna, but I was listening to these podcasts, and these guys were saying, "Oh, you got to see it." So then I watched it. This guy Stockton Rush, who invented it, he just kept hiring people until he heard what they wanted to say, and everyone goes, "It's not safe. It's not safe. It's not safe." And then he'd try it out, and they put it down 10 feet, and it would implode. And they put it down 20 feet, and it would implode. Because he used carbon fiber, and he always goes, "There's a rule. You don't use it." Well, I broke that rule. And then he was like, "If you want to be safe, don't get out of bed, don't get in your car, don't do anything then if you just want to be safe." What a jackass. And he'd have guys like on his staff for years, and he's like, this thing is not ready to go down with people. And he was like, "Shut up. You should see the thing that drove it. It was just like a little Logitech rip-off PS1 controller." And I just feel so bad for the people, especially the kid, that his dad took him down into this thing. And but it's also just when you have these, people always say, Carmen Lynch has this great line when she was in here in the community. She said, whenever a girl breaks up with a guy, it's because he was a narcissist. This guy really was. And it's just anyone who told him something he didn't want to hear, he just fired him. And anyway, talking to Edith reminded me of Stockton. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Byline.
This is an all sports news sports update.
College football has always been a sport built on tradition, but today's game is changing faster than at any other time in its history. Success is no longer determined only by recruiting, coaching, and player development. Universities must now navigate an environment shaped by the transfer portal, name, image and likeness opportunities, conference realignment, and increasing national competition for talent. Programs are no longer simply recruiting high school athletes. Coaches must also evaluate experienced players, looking for new opportunities through the transfer portal, creating what many describe as year-round roster management. Building a successful team now requires balancing player development with the ability to quickly address positions of need. At the same time, NIL opportunities have changed how student athletes think about their college careers. While education and athletic development remain important, athletes also have opportunities to build personal brands and enter endorsement agreements while competing at the collegiate level. Universities continue adapting to this evolving landscape while maintaining competitive athletic programs. Conference realignment has added another layer of change. Schools are joining new conferences, creating different rivalries, expanding television markets, and increasing travel for athletes and coaches. Those moves are reshaping schedules while influencing recruiting strategies and media exposure across the country. Despite all of these developments, the fundamentals of college football remain unchanged. Coaches still emphasize discipline, teamwork, preparation, and execution. The difference is that today's programs must succeed both on the field and in an increasingly complex business environment surrounding college athletics. As another season approaches, the teams that adapt most effectively to these changes may find themselves competing for championships, while those that struggle to adjust could quickly fall behind. In other sports, technology continues playing a larger role in sports officiating, as leagues search for ways to improve accuracy while maintaining the flow of competition. Professional and collegiate sports now use a variety of tools, including instant replay, ball tracking systems, goal line technology, and video review. While these innovations help officials make more informed decisions, leagues continue emphasizing that technology is designed to assist, not replace the judgment and experience of game officials. As technology continues to evolve, sports organizations face the challenge of balancing innovation with preserving the pace, tradition, and human element that fans have always associated with competition. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports. I hate that guy. I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it. Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. I don't believe I've ever had Tyler Adams on the show. I always say I don't believe because I forget. I don't think I have, but he now plays with AFC Bournemouth, and they're going through a lot of changes, and they're going to be in Europe for the first time ever. They got a brand new manager. They've got one of the hottest young strikers in the Prem. See if they can hold on to them as well. But the new coach is a guy named Marco Rosa. And I think he came to RB Red Bull Leipzig right when Adams was leaving Red Bull Leipzig to go to Leeds. So, I don't know. We'll see if there's some crossover there. But I always like to nerd out and talk soccer on the byline, if you like. We'll keep our eye on the, as I said, there's no ticker on the trade deadline. I remember one time when the A's were really good, and it's like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do at the trade deadline? And I remember I watched the MLB Network, and I watched, and I saw the clock tick down, and what a dork I was thinking that the A's would actually do something. They did nothing. And then they got Stephen Drew afterwards in the non-waiver. I was like, man. But that's just the way it goes, you know. This is where we put our heartstrings on these type of things as well. No news on the LeBron front just yet either, as we're waiting for him to make the decision 2.0. And I'd love it to be out here in Golden State, but he could return to Miami. He could go back to Cleveland, Ricky Henderson style, because he came back to the A's 3 times. Or maybe Philly, all the rumors out there. But there's one team we know he won't go to, and that's the Lakers. maybe he'll go back to them. We got another 2 hours. Come on back.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Caddy didn't come from a textbook. Before we started it, we were quoted $60,000 for a piece of software our business needed. So instead, we sat down with our own AI setup and built the whole thing ourselves for just a couple $100. That gap, $60,000 down to $200. That is the whole idea behind Caddy. And once we saw what was possible, we could not unsee it. We built it into a system, and now we build it for other businesses too. If you're using ChatGPT or Claude in a browser tab, you're touching maybe 10% of what these tools can really do. Caddy is the other 90%, wired into how your business actually runs. The repetitive work, handled. The details that slip through, caught. The hours you lose to busy work, back. We come in, we build, we train your team, you take the keys. No $300,000 executive hire. No year-long project, no learning curve. Just your own unfair advantage built around how you already work. Book a free strategy call at meetcaddy.com. That's meetcaddy.com. Caddy, your unfair advantage.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
Hour 2 of Titillating Sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of Titillating Sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on American Forces. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you see him holding up a brand new hardcover book from the University of Tennessee Press entitled Gridiron Invasion, The Hidden History of Women's Football. And joining us right now, we're happy to have her author, Katy Taylor, who is a lecturer at Nottingham Trent University. Katy, welcome to the show. Since you're up that neck of the woods, are you more city ground or county ground?
Actually, neither. I grew up in West London, so I'm a Brentford fan, really. But spent a lot of time on the south coast, so Portsmouth as well.
Okay, did you, because I was in Chiswick for a while, that was sort of near Brentford. Yeah. Did you go to any Pompey games at Fratton Park?
I was a season ticket holder for a while while I was down there, so yeah, definitely did that.
Did you see the FA Cup years with Harry Redknapp and Waku Kanu, Jermaine Defoe, those teams?
Kanu was still playing at the very end when I was there, but I missed the glory years and was there more for the relegations and the financial troubles. So
yes, sorry about that.
That's right.
Now, this is interesting because I love the fact that you're English and you wrote this book. I played college football in America, and I was a guest coach in Hertfordshire, in Bushey, where the Metropolitan Police Department, the London Mets, had a team. This was in 2003, and I coached there for a few weeks. And there was such a thirst for knowledge. They weren't, not to sound smug, but it's sort of like soccer players here. They weren't getting proper coaching. So when did you decide, I'm going to write a book about the women in football? Because over here we say, oh yeah, look at her, she kicked a field goal for an NAIA team or something. You're saying it goes way back, doesn't it?
It really does. I got interested myself because I've been a coach at flag football, and I was involved for a while with the men's Great Britain team as their team manager, and I kind of felt like an oddity. And when it came to doing my master's degree research project, I'd read Michael Oriard's book, King Football, where he talks about the fact there's a handful of women who played, but there's really no reason to expect there are very many. And I thought, well, is that really the case? Or is there some kind of more digging to do? So knowing I had access to more newspapers have been digitized, that sort of thing, I thought I'd have a little look into it, and then realized it went back very, very far, back to the late 19th century. And yeah, I just wanted to then try and restore women's place in I guess, football's history, really.
Did you, and were there some names there? Were there some, founding mothers, so to speak, or, sort of the Jackie Robinsons crossing ethnicity barriers? Who are some of the women that we should know more about?
I think the history is lots and lots of little stories of kind of really cool women who are just trying to play the sport that they're interested in. Some of the ones that I really are interested in, there's a woman, a girl who's in her teens called Esther Berna, who played in Connecticut. And she played on defense on an all-male team. She got tons and tons of praise from the media, but she kind of got so overwhelmed by the media that she didn't really want to kind of play anymore. But the media was hugely positive about her. They attributed losses to the team because she wasn't playing, things like that. There are other girls who did similar things, like Frankie Groves, Bobby Dickerson. They weren't just kickers. These were Frankie Groves played at right tackle, Bobby Dickerson played at end, but they were banned really quickly by officials because they didn't want girls to be playing. But they were playing in really physical positions, getting high praise from the media. And then there's loads and loads of women who played in leagues in Los Angeles and Chicago in the 1930s, 1940s. So yeah, there's lots and lots of little stories, I would say. That I think the thing with the history is there's no one big name that kind of sticks out.
Well, just sticking with my time in England, and soccer really thrived in America because it was seen as a sport for girls. But in every other country, it was seen for a sport of, men and tough guys. And I remember talking to someone who, she said she played football or soccer with her friends, but she thought, well, her mom didn't want her to. It robbed her of her femininity. Other girls would point at her and call her all sorts of terrible names. And she said it just wasn't worth it. So what's that like, overcoming those sort of social binds?
Yeah, I think one of the things that the book really kind of goes through is what women and girls have had to do to try and overcome what society was saying they should and shouldn't play a sport. And you get lots and lots of girls early on in the 19th century who are modifying the sport because they know it's not going to be acceptable for them to play. And they're trying to play in private because, again, competing in something so physical in front of people is definitely considered unfeminine. So there's lots and lots of ways that women and girls kind of try and overcome those things. And then you see it with the powder puff games that sort of emerge in a lot in the kind of post-war period, that they start parodying themselves. They start making fun of themselves for playing because it's not considered feminine. And then, of course, like I said, with the examples of people like Frankie Groves and Bobby Dickerson, then you get officials coming in and taking away their opportunities to play. But a lot of the time, they try and modify the sport to try and find ways that are more acceptable. But there are instances where physical educators embrace them playing tackle football rather than just a non-contact version. So yeah, there's lots going on. It's not a straightforward history.
Not at all. So, Katie, where are we now? Because we're not in the dark ages, but we're still miles away from female participation, I would think, in the NFL. But we do have officials now. We do have a coach here or there. Men, these new generation of men, they're always going to be men, but they're much more accepting and knowing that it's a meritocracy and not caring, because that's one thing I think sports overcomes is you don't care about somebody's color or their religion if they can get it done. So what about the meritocracy of women rising up through football? Where have you seen it come in just the last couple of decades?
I would say that women are continuing to make strides. I think there are plenty of examples of women who've now played on collegiate teams at different levels and at high school. But I think part of the problem with the NFL seemed very keen on promoting a non-contact version of the sport for women. So obviously they're very, very behind flag football for women. And I think unless that stance changes, where they're more accepting and willing to perhaps support the tackle version of the game for women, that it's unlikely to change much. I mean, obviously we've got the Women's Football Alliance, which continues to kind of buck the historical trend of leagues for women that have kind of failed in the past. They've got sponsorship deals, they get media coverage, winners of the championship have gone to the White House, things like that. There's a lot more going on that's supportive of women playing the really physical version of the sport. But in terms of, will a woman ever make it to the NFL? I think it feels like the NFL are pushing women down a non-contact route. And until more women are playing, I guess, more widely, and there's a bigger talent pool to draw from, I think that next step will be a long way away. But it's fantastic to see women coaches. I've done some research as well on the history of women coaches in the sport. It's fantastic to see women who've played in the WFA and other leagues to get those opportunities to coach in the NFL.
Before I let you go, I have to mention the other football, and that is it didn't come home, but still a bronze medal and to finish better than 45 other teams. But that crazy game Saturday night, the consolation match, 6-4 over France, that's a much better taste in our mouth than going out to Argentina and then to see Spain win. So in the end, not a bad Saturday and Sunday, right?
No, not too bad. It's our best finish in the World Cup since 1966, so we can't be too sad about that. And yeah, see England kind of let loose, score goals, and I think the spirit in which it all ended is much nicer than the spirit in which the final ended. So.
All right, there she is. Not a Nottingham Forest or Notts County fan. She's Pompey and the Brentford Bees. We're speaking with Katie Taylor. Her new book, Gridiron Invasion, The Hidden History of Women's Football, is available today from University of Tennessee Press. Katie, thank you so much for your time, and let's catch up on your next book.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
All right, I'm Tittle. We have open lines. Get on in at 1-800-878-PLAY.
Thinking about you for quite a while. You're on my mind.
Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment's interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
To me, it's like a mountain, a vast bowl of pus.
Who cares about anything else when you've got Rick Tittle on the radio?
Thank you for that, and that's especially true because we have Tyler Adams coming up less than 20 minutes. Not right at 10:40 when we start the segment, probably around 10:45. I only have a million questions for him. All right. I'm not reticent to bring up topics like this, but I know that they can be sensitive. And what that is, I sort of feel like now with this story that won't die about when the Giants had Pride Night and a couple guys wrote Bible, they didn't write the Bible verse, but the code, if you want, to get to that Bible verse. And a lot of people, there was some backlash and they thought it wasn't handled well. And now, yesterday and even today, more fans are reaching. And I sort of feel like at some point, if you are mad at the Giants, at some point you should forgive them or move on, I would think. Now, I know one fan said this needs to be addressed now or I will always root for them to lose. And look, you can hate any team you want. Like, you want them to address it again? What do you want them to do? What are they supposed to say? Now, there was a big thing a couple of days ago because there was a guy named Jeff Ward who worked for over 10 years as a Giant, as a guest services guy. So it's basically an usher. And he is openly gay. And he was excited to bring a lot of his family and friends to Pride Night. And then he said afterwards that because two guys wrote the Bible verses on it, and he said the way Buster handled it after, which is basically just to say, look, we support the community, but we also support guys' free speech, blah, blah, blah. He wanted a full refund. And you know what the Giants did? They immediately refunded him $318. Could you imagine anything else where you say, I went to, I don't know, pick something, Scandinavian Heritage Night, and I saw a guy wearing Viking horns. I want my money back. No. And you could say, Rick, you can't compare that. And I know I can't compare that. That's the point I'm making. And the point is, there was another person saying, I paid for seats down low, and there's a guy wearing a hat looking me in the face, telling me that he hates me. I'm not telling you what to feel. If you feel like that's what that is, that someone is telling you that they hate you, I'm sorry that you felt that way. I do feel sorry for it, but if I was the Giants now, why ever do this again? Why ever have another Pride Night? The only way you can do it now is to make sure everyone will just wear the hat. And by the way, the guys who wouldn't put on the hats, I support their free speech, blah, 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 but they're also schmucks. They're little cowards. They are. Just put the hat on. If you're going to make people feel like you hate them, it's not going to kill you. It doesn't make you gay. It doesn't mean you're going to be in the Pride Parade. It doesn't mean anything outside of the fact that you're just being respectful to the wishes of your employer, your organization. Now, if it really, really kills you, that homosexuality is an anathema to the human race, well, don't say it's because you're Christian, because going on the road and, fornicating with chicks, is that Christian? And yes, they had the option, and one guy did just wear the regular hat. You didn't have to wear the rainbow hat and then write a Bible verse on it. So anyway, you can do whatever you want. I don't care if you write a verse on it, but there are people who do care. And so this has created so much negativity in one of the worst seasons that they've had in years. And they have a brand new manager who's never been in the big leagues at any level. He's never been in professional baseball in any level. And he's under intense scrutiny because, to me, he's so milquetoast. I don't see great leadership ability, and why would we expect him to have it? I like the hire, though, and I think it would be dumb to fire him because he wasn't given a whole lot to work with. I think you should give him another year, and you have to know when you hire a guy that's never been there, you can't just say, all right, you're out. Right? How dumb would that be? It has to be at least a 3-year plan. And you'd say, okay, well, we got that horrible season under our belts, and now we can move forward and see if we can get out of some of these bad contracts. And, Buster's done some smart things, he claimed. Susak is a Rule 5 from the A's who had their head up their butts. Trading some relievers last year, beefing up the farm system. It's just, the biggest mistake I think he made was the Chapman deal. And then the Adames, who wouldn't want Willie Adames? Who wouldn't want him? And yeah, you got to overpay. Who thought that he would now suddenly not be able to hit or field? Who saw that coming? It happens. It's a risk when you sign somebody. It is a risk. But just getting back to, I think now a lot of people they don't want to let this story die. And just 2 news stories in the last 2 days about fans being outraged and rooting against them. One of the general investors was this guy Johnson, and then he passed away. His son is now the investor, but he found out that he had given money to tons of Republican candidates. One of them was a woman who used the word lynch, and they go, oh, look who he supports. And he was like, look, I didn't know she said that, but do we have to check to see who everyone voted for before we hire Vitello? Do we want to see who he voted for? Do you want to check his Twitter when he was 12. There wasn't Twitter then. You know what I mean? So I understand people being upset. I understand these guys are dumbasses. Just wear a normal hat. If it really kills you, just wear a normal hat. Because it is aggro. And sometimes you don't even know. It's like, you know, if you say, well, all lives matter, you're fired. What? Don't all lives matter? They do, but you miss the point. Well, what's the point? Well, if you don't get it, then you're fired. Oh. I personally, you know what makes my blood boil? This is what makes my blood boil. What is it, Rick? When I see those flags that there's a blue stripe, the American flag, to support the police, because it's not that I don't support the police, but you're desecrating the flag. Do you think you can just write anything you want on the flag? You can just put any color or any logo or any stripe. You can change the stripe. This means we support the police. No, this means you're an idiot. You just desecrated the flag. But that's me. Does anybody else care? Probably not. And do I care that no one else cares? No. Everyone is so interested in what everybody else thinks. But the bad publicity for the team that started Until There's a Cure Day, the team that has done more for the LGBT community than any team in the history of professional or college sports, because a couple guys wrote these things and it wasn't handled properly. Oh, what do you want? Do you want those guys cut? Do you want them to get traded? Do you want them to get designated for assignment? Do you want to send them down to Sacramento? I don't know. I understand the outrage, but it was weeks and weeks ago. Now, for some people, it's not resolved yet. Well, for the people who wanted their money back, the Giants immediately refunded. They don't want bad publicity. The whole point of it was to go out of your way to say everyone's welcome. And I think you're better off saying nothing and letting everyone feel welcome. When you walk into a stadium, anywhere, does somebody say, you know what, we really don't want gay people here? No, no one says that. But then if you say we celebrate gay people, except those two guys, then it's like, oh, this organization is a disaster. Really? The organization is a disaster? So they've created this themselves, and it's not worth the trouble. I wouldn't even have it anymore. They will. Of course they're going to have it again. But just, I don't know. I think some people at this point are just piling on. That's just my opinion. All right, Tyler Adams coming up in the next segment. Come on back.
Not that I do, but then again, to give dimension, I did what I had to do, or so I through, was nothing notion.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America. Premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Sometimes life changes and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is, no cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is. We can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
I honestly just got the chills as you described it again for me.
I don't know its name. People from battle again and again.
You must be crazy. You's a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thanks for that. We're waiting on Tyler Adams. He'll be here in less than 5 minutes. It was kind of weird to see pictures of a family, an estranged family, back together again when it's a family that's not mine and I don't think about. But I've always held Aaron Rodgers in a little higher esteem, not because of his ability or because of ayahuasca or anything else, going into a cave with no light for 3 days, but because he's a kid from Chico who played at Butte College and he played for Cal. I went to the Holiday Bowl, his last ever game in college, and so I'm not a fan of the Packers or definitely not the Steelers or the Jets, but you know, I always kind of, I don't know, just hold Aaron Rodgers in a little higher esteem because of the local roots. But he is, you know, one of the reasons the Niners didn't draft him is they thought he was kind of a D word. Even coming out of the University of California, right? So, but he has been estranged from his family more than 10 years. And then last night, he posted pictures with his family. And one of them was with his mom, Darla. She had her arms around him there. She was beaming. One was with his dad, who looks just like him. Another with his brother, Luke, with a big old gray beard. And then it showed him with his niece putting a toy together. And he just wrote, "Another bonding week." And it's pretty interesting because, you know, he has made it very clear that this is his last year. He said that when he reports for camp coming up here in a week, that his 22nd season will be his very last. But if you go back to what caused this feud, from what we know, only they know for sure, but it became kind of public when his brother Jordan appeared as a contestant on The Bachelorette. And during that episode, Jordan brought the Bachelorette, JoJo Fletcher, home to meet his family, and the group ate dinner together, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't there. And they left 2 empty seats to signify his absence. One was for Aaron Rodgers, and one was for Olivia Munn, who he was with at the time. And so people are like, And then there was his opinion on The Bachelorette and that Netflix show. And Aaron Rodgers said, quote, "I was quiet about it because I thought the best way to do it was not to talk about it publicly." And then what do? They go on a BS show and leave 2 empty chairs. They all agreed this was a good thing to do. By the way, Jordan and JoJo ended up getting married, and Aaron Rodgers didn't go to his brother's wedding. Aha. Another thing that seemed to divide the family was religion. Rodgers said, "I grew up in a very white, dogmatic church, and that just didn't really serve me. It was a very rigid in structure. I'm not a rigid person because shame, guilt, judgment, it was like we have the truth, our way or the highway. Our way is heaven, your way is hell." Even talking to my parents, it was very black and white. Somebody has to be wrong, somebody has to be right. I kind of decoupled from that in high school. It's interesting, like a trailer, right? He said, then when I started looking into other religions and plant medicine, I found a lot of resistance. Doing things compared to what I grew up in would be considered an alternative lifestyle. Plant medicine meaning ayahuasca. And so then he went 10 years without speaking to his family. And he said that when he was with the Jets and he played in the American Century Championship golf tournament, the thing I was just at up in Edgewood, 2 years ago, that his dad went to it. And Rodgers was on the course. He didn't know his dad was there, but he saw him in the gallery. And so he said, it's my dad. And so he could have reacted 3 ways: ignored him, stormed off, or going over and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" And that's apparently what he did. In other words, he's like, my dad's got the olive branch out. And, probably deep down he misses him. And it's not clear how much contact he's had, but maybe he could introduce him to the new wife because he got married in secret. All right, Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. And it's our pleasure to welcome to the show star of the United States men's national team, putting out fires in the 6 role, and also a star with Bournemouth in the Premier League. It is Tyler Adams. Tyler, welcome to the show. Before we get into some of the soccer questions, please tell us about your partnership with Allstate and the U.S. Soccer Foundation. What is going on with that?
Yeah, it's been a partnership that we've had now for the past 3 years in the lead up to the World Cup, where we've developed and built mini pitches in underserved communities. So today I'm sitting here in Atlanta. We just got to the National Training Center, actually, after opening our mini pitch in South Fulton, which was an amazing day. I think we had between 60 and 75 kids out there today going through clinics, playing on the mini pitch that we just developed. So yeah, I'm super thankful for the partnership and the field that we've built in the past 3 years.
All right, exciting times for the Cherries now. You guys are going to Europe, and you're going to Europe with a new gaffer too, Marco Rosa. Did you ever cross paths with him in Leipzig, or did you just miss each other?
We just missed each other, but he came through the Red Bull system as well at Red Bull Salzburg, so I'm very familiar with him. Played against a bunch of his teams as well when he was at Gladbach and Dortmund. So we're familiar with one another, but I haven't had the opportunity to meet him yet or be coached by him, so it will be fun.
Now, I'm a Tottenham fan since the 80s. What are we getting in Marco Senesi, Tyler?
He's a high-quality player and a high-quality person. He's one of the best passers of the ball I've ever seen and ever played with, and he's a center back. So that makes him a unique specialist in his position. Obviously, in terms of having a center back that's a lefty, that's highly looked after now in today's game. So he has a unique skill set, and I think he'll have a lot to offer for Tottenham.
And for a guy who didn't make the Argentine team, he almost won the World Cup. That cross came in late in that game. All right, as I mentioned, going to Europe now, the Europa League, and I love the new format. You're going to get 8 games and, a lot of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, and not just the minimum of 40 games with the 2 domestic cups. But how are you taking it? Because you're going to need a squad with much more depth now.
Yeah, of course. I think that one thing Bournemouth has proven is that they recruit players really, really well. So I won't put it by them to bring in some obviously more players. You know, the more games you have, the more rotation you need to compete at a high level. And it's not easy, especially when you're in the Premier League, because when you have 8 more games in the season and an opportunity to go further in your Europa League, you come out of Europa League and have to play teams like Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and the list goes on. So every week is highly competitive. So we're going to need the full squad for that for sure.
Now, holding on to players is hard when you're not one of the big teams, so to speak. But what Krupi did, I guess he just turned 20, but no one does that as a teenager in the Premier League. How exciting is it to play with a guy like that?
Super exciting. He's extremely talented. For me, to have the opportunity to play with him the past season, you saw how talented he is and how much growth he's had throughout that season. Some of the goals that he scored, the goals that senior veterans are scoring regularly, and he did it so nonchalantly. So there's no doubt in my mind eventually at one point in his career he's going to take the next step, but hopefully I can continue playing with him.
You know, think about some of your teammates. Gannon Doak got a lot of time for the Tartan Army. Unfortunately, Justin missed that pen for Holland. How much time do you get off now? Because, I mean, I saw Tottenham playing MK Dons on Wednesday. I would think you guys get at least, 3 weeks off now?
Yeah, just under that. I get about 17 days, so I'll report back this week actually and meet the team in Austria for the start of our preseason camp. They're already there right now. So I'll miss the first couple of weeks of preseason, and then I'll still have 4 or 5 weeks to prepare. So, yeah, it's a quick turnaround, but that's what the game requires right now.
As you can imagine, as a Tottenham man, I love Mauricio Pochettino, and I got to see him coach in person in London, and I was just over the moon when the United States signed him, and I just figured for sure, knowing him, he would want to coach and not be waiting for these long international cycles. But I'm now hearing that maybe if they can throw enough cash at him, do you think Poach will stay around with the national team?
Your guess is as good as mine. Listen, I think as a player to have the opportunity to be coached by him, even though it was just a short amount of time before the World Cup, you see why his resume is so impressive. But he taught me more about myself, I think, as a person and growth as a person rather than just a player. You know, his focus was on the culture of the national team, which I think he's changed completely. And I think you saw that throughout the tournament, how close-knitted we are, and that was ultimately going to be the driver of our success. So, yeah, whatever he decides to do next, it will be deserved for him. But he's in a position where he has the opportunity to make that decision.
You know, it was also interesting. I had the director of that HBO miniseries following you guys, and, you know, we all got to see your background and where you grew up and your family and everything. But was that hard to open up like that, or was it kind of cool to say, like, you know, here's me, you guys should get to know us better for the non-soccer people?
Yeah, no, working with Park Stories was easy. I've known those guys for a long time now, so they have my trust completely. So opening up to someone like that where you can be transparent with one another throughout the process. It wasn't a typical documentary. It meant a lot more to a lot of us, and they gave the time of day to every single player on the team. I think that's why it was important. It wasn't just, you know, the quote-unquote stars that people might want to see. It was about everybody, and that was important to us.
And just, I know you got to run. What was it about Iraola? I mean, obviously he's with Liverpool now, but what was it about him to take a team like Bournemouth and have you guys, I mean, just an amazing shape, structure, discipline? What is it about his coaching style that made you guys so successful to get into Europe?
It's black and white with him. He's an incredible manager. Tactically, obviously, it speaks for itself, but how he organizes training sessions, how he communicates, all these things. You understand your role at such a high level that it's easy to translate right onto the field. So I think that, you know, for me as a player, he helped me grow so much as a player. Obviously, he played a similar role to me at times in his career. So listening to him and how he understands the game gave me a completely new understanding of how I look at the game. So he's going to do amazing things at Liverpool, especially with those players. So it'll be fun to watch.
Great stuff from Tyler Adams. Remember to check out Allstate and the U.S. Soccer Foundation, bringing access to the sport all across the country. Tyler, I'm a big fan, man. Keep it up. And the Prem, good luck in the Europa League as well, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, good stuff. I'm Rick Tittle, number 4 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. Tyler Adams, number 12 at Bournemouth. Come on back.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
This important consumer alert is from the Credit Repair Hotline, a national service designed to help people improve their credit scores. Are you paying high interest rates because of your credit rating? Wouldn't you like to be able to qualify for a better car loan or mortgage rate? Would lower monthly payments give you more financial flexibility? If you're finally ready to fix your credit problem, you need to call today and get a free consultation from the Credit Repair Hotline. In one fast and easy call, we can pull your credit rating and show you real solutions how to improve your credit. And again, this is part of a 100% free consultation. Learn how you can save money on everyday purchases by having a better credit rating. And it all starts with this free phone call right now.
800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. 800-413-6214. That's 800-413-6214.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America. Premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40! You take them all the man. And put them in control. Watch him become a god. Watch people's heads roll.
Don't ask Rick Tittle to bring it, because it already done got brought.
All right, thank you for that, and thank you to Tyler Adams. You know, he's a guy. This is what we need. We need players playing in real leagues overseas and being everyday players, and that's easier said than done. But near the end of the year, when Tottenham was flirting, way too flirting, with relegation, and Bournemouth came to Spurs, and Tyler Adams was just running all over the pitch. And, you know, on the one hand, I admire him because he's an American, but he also is a pain because he's just everywhere. And we need guys like that. Also, I'm going to be heading up to Marysville tonight. Lovely Marysville, Yuba area. No, the Ballers are not playing the Yuba Sutter Freebirds. It's the Boise Hawks. Well, Rick, why would you drive up there on a Tuesday night where it's literally going to be 99 degrees? I checked. Because one of my favorite comedians is going to play for the Freebirds, Joe List. Now, 4 years ago, he did it with up in what's the name of that town near Kalispell, White Deer or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. He got to pitch. This one, he gets to hit. So we'll see what happens at Bryant Field tonight. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We got another hour. Come on back on Sports Byline.
This is an all sports news sports update.
College football has always been a sport built on tradition, but today's game is changing faster than at any other time in its history. Success is no longer determined only by recruiting, coaching, and player development. Universities must now navigate an environment shaped by the transfer portal, name, image and likeness opportunities, conference realignment, and increasing national competition for talent. Programs are no longer simply recruiting high school athletes. Coaches must also evaluate experienced players, looking for new opportunities through the transfer portal, creating what many describe as year-round roster management. Building a successful team now requires balancing player development with the ability to quickly address positions of need. At the same time, NIL opportunities have changed how student athletes think about their college careers. While education and athletic development remain important, athletes also have opportunities to build personal brands and enter endorsement agreements while competing at the collegiate level. Universities continue adapting to this evolving landscape while maintaining competitive athletic programs. Conference realignment has added another layer of change. Schools are joining new conferences, creating different rivalries, expanding television markets, and increasing travel for athletes and coaches. Those moves are reshaping schedules while influencing recruiting strategies and media exposure across the country. Despite all of these developments, the fundamentals of college football remain unchanged. Coaches still emphasize discipline, teamwork, preparation, and execution. The difference is that today's programs must succeed both on the field and in an increasingly complex business environment surrounding college athletics. As another season approaches, the teams that adapt most effectively to these changes may find themselves competing for championships, while those that struggle to adjust could quickly fall behind. In other sports, technology continues playing a larger role in sports officiating, as leagues search for ways to improve accuracy while maintaining the flow of competition. Professional and collegiate sports now use a variety of tools, including instant replay, ball tracking systems, goal line technology, and video review. While these innovations help officials make more informed decisions, leagues continue emphasizing that technology is designed to assist, not replace the judgment and experience of game officials. As technology continues to evolve, sports organizations face the challenge of balancing innovation with preserving the pace, tradition, and human element that fans have always associated with competition. For All Sports News, I'm Brendan Cafferty.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
If you're losing calls, missing leads, or spending too much time chasing customers, this message is for you. Create Assistance helps businesses answer every call, text, and message 24/7 using AI employees without hiring more staff. We handle bookings, follow-ups, reminders, and customer communication all inside one simple system built for small businesses. Stop losing opportunities after hours. Visit createassistance.ai and book a quick call today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott shows the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at BevMo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports. I hate that guy. I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it. Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you so much. Hour 3 underway. JD Sharp scheduled to appear. Other than that, open lines, Sunday. Come on in. At the Cow Palace now. 1-800-878-PLAY. Call me up. So, an incident happened today at Tonon-les-Bains, which means something, the baths. Tonon-les-Bains and the Tour de France. And there's an American rider named Brandon McNulty. And he's actually a teammate of Tadej Pogačar, who's the overall race leader. And anyway, today at stage 16, he was overtaken by a car driven by a guy named Mauro Giannetti, who's the CEO of UAE Emirates XRG. And he got out of the car, and there was a confrontation, and the bike hit the car. And so the quote was, "Nothing so big, but it was not nice." So the headline is Road Rage Incident. But you know what? If you're in France or what, sometimes I go into foreign countries, but if you're along the route, first of all, I know they don't completely shut down the roads, but they should. I understand getting mad at a jackass bicycle rider who's riding in the middle of the street 15 miles per hour to make some sort of point, like the guy doesn't own a car himself. Or when these, bike gangs take over the streets. I understand being pissed off, but you can't have a road rage incident during the Tour de France, because that takes precedent over the roads. But that won't keep some people. Anyway, it doesn't sound that bad, but I just like saying American rider, because normally the Hincappies and I had one guy in here, I can't remember his name. It wasn't Hincappy. It was Bob Buttface. I'll remember it later. Anyway, Lance Armstrong's They All Juiced. Everyone except Wooster High, alumni, Reno, Nevada. Greater than all. All right, come on back.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. As a veteran, show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Proceeds support Heroes on the Water.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, we have open lines, and we're gonna have a first here at Sports Byline USA. You know those videos where kids open boxes of PS5s, whatever, or Pokemon cards? Well, our friends at Panini, and you can see as I hold it out to the camera, I got the EFL Prestige Pack. More about that in a second, but I'm going to lean back from the mic, and on the YouTube and Twitch cameras, I'm going to show you this scarf. Hold on. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of holding it up like I was just signed by the team. Very nice soccer scarf. So Panini, they used to be these sticker albums. They still have sticker albums. But they also have cards, and they have something now, as I said, the Prestige EFL Pack. The EFL is the English Football League. So it's the 3 divisions below the Prem. So there's all 72 clubs of the Championship, League One, and League Two. And they've sent me a couple packs, and I'm going to do, because it's my show and no one's calling and we don't have our guest, we love our friends at Panini, I'm going to open these packs, and I'm going to see who we get. I want to see if I get Charizard or Snorlax. Oh, these are really nice cards, very high quality. All right, and we can look together. Brian de Keersmaker, he plays for Oxford United. The Bulls, the U's. Kyle Joseph plays for Hull City, where Josie Altidore used to play. Finn Azaz, who plays for Southampton. Or Soton, the Saints. Ooh, I got a really look at this one. This one really shines. It's got sparklies in it. It looks good in the light reflecting there. It's Ben Whitfield, who plays for Barrow. As I said, this is the football league. It's all the divisions below the Prem. Nathan Broadhead, who plays for Wrexham. Of course, that is in Wales, and they nearly got to the Prem with their fancy American and Canadian ownership. Yuki Ohashi, who plays for Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers, if you didn't know, the pride of Ewood Park, they once won the Premier League when they had SAS, Sutton and Shearer up front. Here's a fusion card. Suleiman Kubai with Burton Albion. Of course, Albion is the lyrical name for England. And then a fan favorites card. This is Bobby Thomas. And who's this? He's with Coventry City. Of course, they've just been promoted under Frank Lampard. And finally, Luca Connell with Barnsley. Barnsley had a cup of coffee in the Premier League at one time. And, we still got one more. Ashley Fletcher, who plays with Blackpool. Blackpool, the Tangerine Dream. And Ian Holloway, once the manager there, when they had their foray into the Prem, of course, the big seaside resort town of Blackpool. I got one more pack. I'm going to do the live open here, and this is some fantastic radio right now. Let's see who we have. Joe Ward with Derby County, the Rams. They used to play at the baseball ground. We have Georgi Chakvetadze, who plays for Watford. I went to Vicarage Road Stadium, and I saw a Watford match one time, right next to the Harlequin there in Hertfordshire. Thierry Small, he plays for Preston North End, a team that David Moyes used to manage, and the American striker Brian McBride played for Preston North End, been on this show. Here's another Watford player. It is Jeremy Ngakia. Casper Yonder, there's a Scandinavian name. He plays at St. Mary's, so that's Southampton. Sam Dalby with Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers had a little time in the Premier League as well. And they had a guy who was a pie magnate who was the owner of that team. And when I say pie, in America we think of apple pie, pumpkin pie. No, these are more like what we would call like empanadas here. Maddie Virtue is the powerhouse card. Look at these. These are really cool. So I'm straining my neck here. He plays for Fleetwood Town, of which I was a co-owner once. Prestigious Pros. This is another card here. I'm holding up the cameras. It's Jake Cooper, who plays for Millwall, or as we call it, Mill Brawl, because they play at the New Den. They're the Lions. They used to play at the Lions Den and then the New Den. And I sat down with Casey Keller during Radio Row for the Super Bowl, and he played at Millwall. So we talked about Mill Brawl. They literally would be the last group of fans I would want to fight with, are the Millwall fans. Just saying. Mitch Pinnock, who plays for Bromley. We have Antoine Hackford, who plays for AFC Wimbledon. They're an amazing story because Wimbledon had a team that played at Plough Lane, and they were nicknamed the Wombles, the Crazy Gang. They had Vinnie Jones, who would go on to be a movie star. They had John and Justin Fashioner. They had Laurie Sanchez. They had Dennis Wise. They had Warren Barton, all sorts of these guys in the late 80s. And they ended up winning the FA Cup over Liverpool, the Crazy Gang. And then they disappeared. No, they didn't. They moved to Milton Keynes, and they're now called MK Dons, I mentioned earlier, because Wimbledon, the nickname were the Wombles or the Dons. So it was what they called American-style franchise free agency. Wimbledon became MK Dons. So they decided, we're going to start a non-league team, Athletic Football Club Wimbledon, and we're going to try to get into the league. And they, remember, Wimbledon, Plough Lane is a bunch of apartments now. They were sharing Selhurst Park with Crystal Palace in South London. So AFC Wimbledon built themselves by the fans, the ground up, and they now have been many years as an established EFL team. So it's a really fantastic story. And there you have it, a couple of prestige packs of EFL from Panini. They're on sale now. You can go to panini.co.uk and you can see the official sticker selection as well. That was one thing as a kid where when I would go to Europe, I was like, well, stickers are fun, but then you put them in that book and then that's it. But then you fill out all the little blank pages until you get everybody. And that's why the hashtag is got.need. Got need. I like that hashtag, got need. But for Americans, we like the cards. We like to hold them, trade them, sell them, put them in polyurethane cubes, put them in spokes of our tires, whatever we wanted to do with them. But nowadays, you really have to step up your card game, and that's what Panini has done, and they're high-quality cards. And as I said, all the different types, and this one really sparkly card here of Ben Whitfield for Barrow Town. That's one of the things that I really like doing whenever Tottenham wasn't playing. If I was near a EFL game, I would go. As I said, I went to Watford. I went to Loftus Road in White City, Shepherd's Bush area of London, because I wanted to see Queen's Park Rangers, QPR. They were lower division. They had a striker named Peter Crouch at that time. He was a Tottenham reject, 6'9", went on to play for the Three Lions. And so anyway, my thanks to Panini, and nothing wrong with talking about that and doing the live unwrapping of these cards. That is the best 10 minutes of radio I've done in a long time. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Byline.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solutions Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
I'm a pretty normal guy. I do one weird thing. I like to go in the women's room for number 2. I've been caught several times, and I have paid dearly.
Your eyes tell the stories of the day you wish you could. Because of moments that once have. Retract the footsteps of the close to this river. I wouldn't ask.
Rick Tittle never eats beef jerky during any month that ends in Vember.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. 1-800-878-PLAY. Come on in and get heard. All right, as I was mentioning, and it's not just the fans waiting for LeBron to make up his damn mind, but the league. Because they want to schedule their season and Christmas games and things like that, and that includes LeBron. They don't want to put all these teams together, then find out LeBron's on the other team. So right now, it's his agent, Rich Paul, formerly known as Rich till he met LeBron. He's taken all the questions. And he was on a podcast called Game Over. Rich Paul said, quote, "We're not going to be rushed. We're not going to be rushed. It's his choice to make. And when he makes the choice, he'll make it." Okay. Paul went on. There's been several people to call and say, "Hey, Rich, is there anything more we should be doing? What could we be doing now?" He's talking about teams. My answer is no. We don't need you to go to above and beyond about anything because we understand it. It's clear all the messages have been sent. In other words, whatever the Warriors told LeBron, look, you can have do you want like an estate in Black Hawk or closer like Hillsborough? Do you want a penthouse in San Francisco? Do you want a winery in Napa? Crickets. Is there something that we didn't say? No. We got it. But that's the thing, because, you have player personnel types and GMs and executives and the owners saying, well, what's LeBron doing? He hasn't made up his mind yet. Well, make him make up his mind. Call him back. We did call him back. They told us to stop calling. Well, keep calling him. I think that would be detrimental. So that's 3 weeks now, today, since Rich Paul told the Lakers that James was not coming back for his 24th season, most ever. And so we know the Warriors, the Heat, the Sixers, and the Cavs are among the favorites. And LeBron made a string of public appearances in New York last week, and all he said was, I won't hold you guys up too much longer. Well, the commissioner, Adam Silver, said right before the weekend, he was at this CNBC Sport X boardroom game plan summit. All right. He said, I would like James to make his announcement already so we can finish the schedule. So Rich Paul was asked about that on the pod. And he said he spoke privately with the commissioner. He said, I saw Adam in New York. We discussed it. And like I said, it's still his choice. So if he doesn't really know, you can't rush it. You can't rush it. So Paul says this isn't intentional to get more people talking about him, like the decision. Paul said, I think it's important for people to understand we're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and let someone else decide or allow it. It's a business choice he's making, and as an athlete, that's his choice to make. All right, we get it. We get it. Blimey, O'Reilly. Let's go to Charlie, who's in New York. What's going on, Charlie?
Rick, the only way, I don't think he's coming to the Warriors. I think he's going to end up on one of those 3 East Coast teams. The only way he ends up with the Warriors is if his daughter's influence on him, which he mentioned, like I listened to a blurb, but he said, when he went to because his oldest son's in the NBA, and then his other son, I think, goes to Arizona, Arizona State. So his 12-year-old daughter, basically is like, do you want me around more, or are you okay with me being 5 hours away? Yeah, if I'm in Golden State, I'm sure he's not talking like this to his daughter, but say, he's a 45-minute plane ride. He can probably go home between games on a homestand, and you would have more time with his daughter. Mm-hmm. That's the only. Why would he come to the Warriors other than unless he really has a burning desire to end his career with Curry and Draymond, play with his buddies? But the Warriors, just with LeBron, are still a 45-win team, maybe. Listen, I would love to see the Warriors get LeBron. Besides that, it being complete S show in terms of the attention they would draw, and it would also almost guarantee the Warriors making another move somehow, whether it's Davis or Trey Murphy, or they would have to. Him alone would not do it, so they would have to package your son from another mother pods and a couple of draft choices. And Jimmy Butler maybe, and or whatever package they can somehow muster another semi-great player into this team. But if you're LeBron, why would you play? Cleveland got to the conference semifinals. Yes, they got swept, but they're a legitimate team. Miami, they got Giannis. They're really good. Obviously, what the Sixers did. So I think it comes down to his daughter, me personally, or him as her acceptance of him being that far away for the next year or 2 years. I'm sure whatever he signs, it's going to be a one-year contract with a player option, I'm guessing. But why would there is no appeal? The Warriors roster stinks. I mean,
I'll tell you the appeal. I'll tell you the appeal, because now he did say, Rich Paul, that it's not about winning. The appeal is every night is an all-star game. Every night is an Olympic game. You know what I mean? He gets to play.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the appeal. Yeah. So that's what he's trading in for the chance to win.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope that's that and his daughter or influence will get him here, because if the Warriors go into the regular season with not getting LeBron and having to settle for signing a Bradley Beal or DeMar DeRozan, or whatever, just some has been over the. It's going to be another 35 to 38 win season, and we'll go from there. But in terms of his decision making, do you think he knows where he's going now, or do you think he still doesn't know?
I think he has to know. I think what he's waiting for, no one has told me this. I think he's waiting for his wife to sign off on it, because I would think that he would have his mind made up by now. Because remember the Hampton 5 or whatever, where we cornered KD to make sure that he would sign. Yeah, and then the Clippers went to DeAndre Jordan's house and they played video games until he signed. I don't see any strong arming like that.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a family decision. And yeah, I'm sure his wife has a say in it. Does she? You know, I don't. What I took from what I had heard was that he's not going to take it. His daughter doesn't want to leave the school. Like, he doesn't want to take her out of her school.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she has friends in LA. She grew up. You know, she's 12, I think. So how long has she been in LA? 8 years. So she got there when she was a little toddler, and that's the only life she's known. So you know, will she say, "Hey, Dad, I prefer if I could see you between games on a regular basis"? Then he's going to pick the Warriors because, like I said, how long is the flight? 45 minutes from the Bay to LA.
Right.
So why he's taking unless he's the only other thing I can think of is maybe he has picked the Warriors and he's saying, "You got to make another move before I come here because I want to be competitive."
Right.
As what you know, but I don't know. You know, obviously it takes two to tango. It sounds like Washington wants to hold on to Anthony Davis, and Trey Murphy's the other name I keep hearing. You know, in terms of the Warriors being tied to in the past. Does New Orleans want to move on? You know, they seem like they're in a complete rebuild. Well, I don't know what they're in, but it seems like they want to move on some of these big contracts, Zion Williamson, and just start over. I mean, that seems a perpetually failing organization. I don't know. I'm sort of fed up with it now that it's. You know, I just would like to make it up. Do I have time for a World Cup question?
Yeah, go quick.
All right, the finals, watched it, turned it off. I didn't want to watch President Orange up on the stand. But how disgraceful or disrespectful it was that the Argentines turned their backs on the
It was terrible little B words. Yeah, terrible. By the way,
will they be reprimanded for that?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that just a court of public opinion. By the way, throw it in your calendar now, Charlie. December 10th through 13th, I'll be in Manhattan.
You're in NYC? Very good. I'll mark it down.
All right. All
right, buddy.
Watch a Raider game or get beers or whatever. All right, my man.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll see you soon. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. 800-826-4073. That's 800-826-4073.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Joey, kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes or is it just my daylight soul? What I do ain't make-believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Just want to finish up with, because Rich Paul had some more to say, because he then went on the guy with the black tank top show, and he was asked about, maybe this wouldn't be a farewell tour, and maybe that LeBron will play another year after this. And so Paul said, I don't know. If you follow his career, he's always been someone to take care of his body, who's put himself in a position that when and if he decides to make whatever decision he decides someday in terms of his choice, or continuing to play or not continuing to play, it's because he wants to make that choice. Not that he has to make that choice. Has there ever been someone who can get to a place where they can honestly decide with full clarity, choosing whatever they choose as it pertains to continuing their career or to continue their professional career? Normally, we're manipulated by a financial component. And in this case, he's not. It's almost like he's talking about the King of England. But he doesn't. I mean, he is. You can tell why this guy gets the money. He's pretty good at talking. And Paul said, I think it's a very unique position to be in, and it's something and you have to be happy, or a guy who's earned it. I personally don't like to think about the end too much because he's got so much left in the tank, but that's his choice. I don't like to think about that because he's been so great to us in the game, and he's meant so much to the sport. All right. Well, Pat Riley went on Dan Le Batard, and he was asking him about that reunion. Remember, LeBron has been to 10 NBA Finals, 4 of them with Miami, 4 years in a row. And, Rich Paul said, if there's roster spots that not filled, if they want to fill roster spots, we're not saying don't fill your roster spots. That's not what we're saying. Then he kind of pushed back on the recent reports that LeBron is just waiting for this because he's going to retire. Rich Paul said, quote, "Those people don't know anything. I don't know when his choice is going to be made. It could be made in the next 48 seconds, 48 minutes. I don't know. You can't make somebody know something they don't know." All right. Well, Rich Paul, not on his own accord, is going out of his way to make all these appearances. You know, if you ever wonder why, I just saw that guy or that actress on that podcast and was on Kimmel and Fallon, and now they're on this podcast. Well, they usually are being told to push something. You know, could be a Netflix special. Like, why would you go on the Smartless? Well, because it's a great podcast. Yeah, but because the production company or the marketing team says you got to go on Smartless. So we'll see. All right. 1-800-878-PLAY. Emails rick@sportsbyline.com. Scott sent me a very interesting email, rick@sportsbyline.com. He said, has the World Cup changed the Ballon d'Or winner? And that's a pretty good a point. Because entering the World Cup, it was Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, and maybe Harry Kane's teammate at Bayern Munich, Michael Olise. None of them won the World Cup. By the way, not only has Tottenham had 3 straight World Cups where they had a winner, Tottenham this season will have a gold, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze member. We got all the medals. I play for them, yeah. But, I mean, Kane not even being the highest scorer on the England squad, does that, Jude Bellingham does that hurt him? You know, the award used to only count for the accomplishments in 1 calendar year, but since the last edition, when Ousmane Dembele won it, it now is the soccer season, August 1st to July 31st. Well, the World Cup happened before July 31st. And the South American teams got on the European cycle in like 20 years ago, and now finally MLS did again. But you don't need to win the World Cup to get the Ballon d'Or. But when there isn't a World Cup, they're much easier to take care of. But the 3 main pillars that are used in the Ballon d'Or voting, individual performance of stats, and then team achievements as well. So what have you done? You know, were you MVP of how many games, or man of the match, I should say, in English parlance? What are your stats, and what have you won as a team? And in 2020, Robert Lewandowski was going to win the Ballon d'Or, but the season was canceled due to COVID. And then the next season, he came in second behind Messi. And Lewandowski felt that he kind of got screwed out of that. But there was a real monopoly by Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo when they went back and forth for 13 years. And in between that, the only 2 players that won it were Luka Modric and Karim Benzema. And then Messi went to Inter Miami, so he's not going to win it there, right? But since that move to Miami, Rodri and Dembele have won it. And Rodri's win in what was considered kind of a down season when it came to candidates. The Man City won the treble, the Prem, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. But that year, Spain also won the European Championship. And that year, Vinicius Jr. was expected to win. And when he didn't, remember what they did? Real Madrid boycotted the Ballon d'Or. A lot of childish behavior going on in soccer. But since there's no clear front runner, I was hoping that Harry Kane would win the Ballon d'Or. And if you think about what he has done in the Ballon d'Or year, he has played 65 matches. That's insane. Because you have the Bundesliga, you have the Weltpokal, you had the German League, and then you also had the World Cup. And you're the DFB Super Cup. So in those 65 matches, he scored 73 goals. Now, he doesn't have to create as many goals at Tottenham, where he led the league in goals and assists and was not player of the year, which sucked. But he also had 8 assists. So if you look at goals plus assists, he had 81. But most importantly, if you can get half, in other words, if you play whatever number of games, if half of those games you score, you are a world-class striker. It's like I was talking with Tyler Adams earlier about this guy, Eli Krupi, a Frenchman. He was only 19 years old last season. He just turned 20 in June. But he had 15 goals in the Premier League. That's insane for a teenager. So just think, Harry Kane, 65 matches, 73 goals. Bundesliga, Golden Boot, Bundesliga title, bronze medal at the World Cup. But then you get Mbappe, who just won the Golden Boot at the World Cup with 10 goals. And he won the Golden Boot in La Liga. And he won the Champions League Golden Boot. 60 matches, 58 goals, 13 assists. So 71 goal participations to Kane's 81. That's not too bad. Then you get Lamine Yamal, who was not even the young player of the tournament. It was Cubarsi, another teenager for Spain, right? But Lamine Yamal, 57 games, 25 goals, 20 assists. He won the World Cup, La Liga, and the Spanish Super Cup. The Super Cup is the cup winner versus the champion. Other than that, I mean, Rodri, we went over what he did, and he's not a goal scorer. He's like I said, if you want to give a comparison, you would just say he's a Draymond. And much more. 2 goals, 2 assists in 46 games. Well, that sucks. Well, how about FIFA World Cup champion and MVP? Player of the World Cup. And then you can't ignore Messi. It's just that he does it in a league that's not recognized as a top league, because it's not. I'm not trying to be mean. It's not. It would probably be closer to, I used to say the first division. I'll go championship now. You know, the tier below the Prem. I'm being very generous, but probably that level. But with Inter Miami and Argentina, 49 games, 45 goals, 31 assists. He won the MLS Cup. That's the championship. It's not a cup. He was MVP of MLS and the Golden Boot winner, obviously, with 45 goals. It's not just about goals. So when you break it down, you go, oh, well, Kane's the leading candidate. It should be done and dusted. Not exactly. Because how many goals did Lamine Yamal have in the World Cup? Once. Just once. But look what happened with winning that. And remember, the Ballon d'Or is not a lifetime achievement award, but it's sometimes treated as one. And do you look at Messi's absurd goal output and assists and say, wow, or do you say, this is one of the best players of all time playing in a piddly league? Of course. I mean, he averages over a goal and a half a game, 1.55 goals per game. And you go, what an amazing thing to be 39 to be that. But Yamal, if he stays healthy, is going to be in this conversation for the next 15 years. And now, getting in the conversation, not this year, but definitely coming up, is going to be Erling Haaland as well. So the ceremony this year will take place in England. And I would love to see Harry Kane get that award. I remember when they had the Amazon Prime series following Tottenham, the one year with Jose Mourinho, and Kane came into his office, and Jose said, you know, when it comes to the superstar managers, I'm one, and you want to be that. He goes, yeah, people talk about Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I want my name in that conversation too. I want to be like that. He goes, well, okay, I'll help you because I'm already up there. When it comes to the best managers, they always mention me. And look, Harry Kane, if you want to have a role model, married his high school sweetheart, I think 4 kids now, Not a huge, big personality, just a guy who loves his country, loves his team, his teammates. He's such a sportsman. He plays golf. He played with Trump. He plays American football. He plays American basketball. He's just an amazing athlete. He just doesn't say much, but he doesn't do any drugs. He's not at the club all night. He's not making it rain at strip clubs. He's kind of boring that way, and that's kind of good. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Byline.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payments. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payments interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. 800-832-2816. That's 800-832-2816.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. America. Premium vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
This is special too. See, look, see, still got the old tagger on it. See, never even played it. See?
You just bought it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. I wasn't.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point.
No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No. You've seen
Don't
enough
look
of
at
that one.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right, well, I'll see you up at Bryant Field in Marysville tonight for the Joe List performance of the YOLO Sutter Freebirds versus Boise Hawks in the Pioneer League. I'll leave you with this. It's. I don't mean to sound smug, but this might come off smug. A lot of times when trades, transactions, hirings happen, they will, as a member of the media, I'll get emailed by a team saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a conference call. Here's the code if you want to get in." And a couple of times, I remember Billy Bean would do that, and I would call and I would ask him a question on the phone, whatever. I got one yesterday from the Sharks. Hey, we're doing a conference call for the assistant GM, Jeff Keelty. Hey, Jeff, where's your office going to be? What the hell am I supposed to ask him? Are you going to help Mike Greer? Yeah. Okay, BDD.